Hello and welcome to Pillars of Eternity with me, Rob Appo. So today we're going to be Let's Playing Pillars of Eternity, a reasonably recent modern CRPG from Obsidian Entertainment that was kickstarted, I think maybe 1 or 2 years ago. We're probably quite behind the times by now, but a game that I've been meaning to go back to and haven't really ever got really into. Essentially, we're going to be playing a dwarven druid who turns into a bear and pimp slaps shit. We've already done a little bit of the opening sequence where we've had met 2 new NPCs, got a little bit of a tutorial on sort of party interactions, and they both got murdered off quite immediately. We've come through this little cavey thing and encountered this big spinning machine of death, which we met some creepy cult-looking fella who then turned this machine on, murdered our 2 companions, turned his companions into stone, then fucked off, and now we're seeing purple shit. That's about up to speed. So we're going to get back into it, try and get to the nearest town, and generally be a druid and be a motherfucking bear. This is the purple shit we've been seeing. I have no idea what it's to do with yet. We've not got this far before, so we're just going to see what happens. We're also going to be trying to read out all the quest dialogue that comes up and all the voice on the non-voice actor stuff. I really want to get into the story of this game. Apparently it's good. So far the writing has been really, really good. And it's been very descriptive and very well worded. So we might find that my dumbass reading ability might lead me tripping over some words and things, but we'll try and do our best and make it flow as best we can. But yeah, we're just going to get into the lore and have some fun. So what's this thing say? This massive structure is formed of stone, ardra and copper, and covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with an unusual energy. Yeah, so it went all purpley and murdered everybody and turned these dudes into ash. Yeah, see, vessel flesh. So these guys are vessels, whatever that means. They were sacrificed for something, by the sounds of it. I don't know what vessel flesh does for us, but we'll pick it up. And there's some lady or gentleman on a spike. Or on a spit, at least. Well, more of a stake than a spit or a spike, I suppose. Same thing, different application, so can move. Gilded Vale, I think, is the nearest village we're headed for, but I think we have to go through Valewood like you do in Baldur's Gate. So, take you 6 hours to complete your journey from Cleantlis to Valewood. We've leveled up and had a rest, so we've got all of our spells back. I'm not sure what we're going to be using a lot of. We've got 3 spells per day, and we can turn to a bear as much as we want once per encounter. I'm not sure how long it lasts. I think just as long as we need it to. But really, I think we just want to get through the town and try and build a party, because last time I played this, we only got to that town, and there's a bear over here who murdered me to shit, and there's some wolves over here, which I don't know if we really want to tangle with just yet. Building a party is probably our safest bet. So I think getting somewhere where we can do so, maybe get some more story and information, because it said when we fell over that we were feeling sick after the purple thing murdered our party, and we probably wanted to get it seen to, so that might be something we want to look into. Ooh, what the hell is that? That's creepy. Can we hear them running? So, fuck a wolf. Young wolf. I probably won't waste a spell on it, it's only a young wolf. We can probably just turn into a bear and twat it in the head, to be honest. Motherfucking bear mode! Yeah, motherfucking bear mode is pretty great. We have yet to meet something that can compete with motherfucking bear mode. Shattered pieces of crate strewn across the dirt, along with a few muddy vegetables. Not much value in muddy vegetables. There's some crafting materials up here. Settler's arrow will have some of that, whatever the fuck it does. Looks like more like goods. Anything valuable here? Scroll of Minilota's minor missiles. I'm assuming like a magic missiles type spell. Then some camping supplies and some gold. We'll have all of that. That all sounds like good shit. If I remember correctly, we go down this road and we end up where we need to be in that town. Yeah. Travel to the town and see what's up. Take 8 hours to complete your journey from Valewood to Gilded Vale, except. We're going to try and cut everything into half-an-hour episodes, just so it doesn't get too sort of like voice dumpy, because you listen to my annoying voice for more than half an hour at a time, you'd probably go mad. If you want it longer or shorter, let us know in the comments below and we'll deal with it, okay? Also, we're going to start like going through and reading all the dialogue, so if you don't like the way I'm doing it, also leave a comment with any suggestions of where it could be done better. You just want me to shut up entirely when I'm doing the voices and you just read it yourself. That's all cool as well. But for now, we're going to read it out. And we'll try and keep up with it. Drink. It's a very ominous looking tree with lots of hanged people on it. One thing I noticed about this game is the frame rate is just terrible.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
He glances at the gnarled leafless monstrosity of a tree next to him. Yeah, those would be... that's an ominous welcome party. Are you mad? No wonder this place looks half empty. Yeah, let's not annoy the man who's insinuating he's just hung all those people. I don't think there's much we could do if he was really annoyed with us. You welcome everyone this way. The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree. Nice.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
What are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
A very sinister gentleman. He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
Well, I don't know how much information we want to give him because he seems like a dick who likes hanging people. However, we do want to deal with how shit we feel after dealing with that bioac.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others.
So you killed the only person who does medicine.
Worse than none at all.
Nothing. I can't see possibly what could go wrong with that.
But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped.
He's a laugh a minute, this one. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everybody in Gilded Vale understands our rules. He says something about Hollowborn and Widewind's legacy. He blinks. I forget you foreigners do not have the curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Direwood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hand. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so their name, Widewind's legacy... Is it Widewind's legacy stuck in honour of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Before I go, there's some people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. If you guys are carefully, you want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on Ingwithian ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Breath have mercy. We certainly have. Maybe so. Like I said, it's best to stay away from those sorts of places. Goodbye.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
Everybody has such varied accents.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
Urget looks out towards the east, his expression unreadable. He blinks slowly and turns his attention back to you.
3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
Oh good. I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn, or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon. Don't threaten me. No, let's not annoy him. More than we already have, obviously. He doesn't seem like he ever is in a state of non-annoyance. I can go back and talk to him, but yeah, doesn't seem to achieve very much. So, Ed, you got a name?
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
If anyone can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod and takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Okay. So not particularly helpful, but not an arsehole. So that's, you know, taking the non-arsehole ratio of this down favourably. Can't go down there, but I think that's a dungeon. And the one time I've got this far, when the game didn't fuck up. Oh, okay. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from his past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a pennant waving tall and sluggish in the wind, a rising sun embroidered on the banner, the vanguard of a small troop of paladins. The atmosphere is buoyant, if restrained. Their armour has not yet been tarnished by the elements. This exposition is fresh, young, filled with zest and zeal. At the head stands a commander, awkward in full armour, but determined in step. Despite the excitement of his fellows, he does not smile. There is a twist to his mouth. His countenance grim. He throws up a hand, halting his troop. Silence falls among them, revealing a dark thunder, a deep and low. He orders them to ready their weapons and spread out. Eyes dart from horizon to horizon, necks twisting to see the source of the sound. In the distance, dust and lightning rise from the ground as a Stygian cloud races towards them overhead. The soldiers stand, only the staccato movement of their breath betraying their nerves. The commander closes his eyes, calling a blessing down on his troop. Invigorated, invincible, they wait as the enemy draws closer, poised to attack. Step back. I want more of that story. That sounds cool. And we sort of say about the writing being good. Like all that sort of stuff is really well worded and really nice to hear. However, my reading might somewhat ruin it. So, you know, if you don't want to put up with that, play it yourself. But if you can, stay and watch. And we'll get through it. The man got a name? Nope, just a villager. Apparently the inn is the southwest down here somewhere. Would that be it? That looks like more of a blacksmith? Blackhammer Smithery. Well, it said southwest. So is this the inn down here? This looks more like a farm. Can you get in that house? That looks pretty inny, but doesn't look like it has a door. That's, you know. Any guys' names? Villager. Villager. Is there like a navigationable thing? Is there like a separate... No, okay, so if we want to go straight through to the town, we can go straight to Merrigan's Fork. No, Magrin's Fork, my bad. But no, we want to find this inn because, you know, this is an RPG, and inns are where quests be, and companions, and all sorts of shit that we kind of do want to check in with before we go out into the big murdery world. Is there a door to this house at all? Maybe the inn is actually like... Ah, that looks like it could be an inn. Big group of people. Aloth, you see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Well, that answers our question. The raised voices, chopping gestures suggest an argument is reaching its climax. The first figure raises a hand for calm, his face partially obscured by hood, but his heightened stature suggests an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we?
Very reasonable.
My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Everyone calm down, whatever it's about, I'm sure it's never a reaction. Ooh, a fight. What's going on? Angry townsman. One of the other men points to the hooded elf, his eyes red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us, even while he shelters in our village, Just goes to show you what these fancy Airdyne manors are worth. I think it's Airdyne, yeah. We don't take to that kind of treatment, not from foreigners, and especially from Airdyne. He's being racist.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
What did you do, my elfie friend?
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you
I
cocksmither!
like this guy.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
The elven woman draws her blade. That's where you're wrong. I don't think attacking him would be a good idea. Back down. This is absurd. This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking out here than arguing? That does sound very reasonable. We don't want your charity either, foreigner. It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's... we can't... I'll offer you... What? Okay. Do we just go motherfucking bear mode, or do we, like, use one of our spells? Dancing bolts. What's... Are they just going to, like, surround him? Because if they are, we can potentially... Oh, no. The two of them are coming for me. Fuck this. Oh, we'll try that. Spells! Oh, that fucked them up pretty good and proper. As the last of the attackers fall, the elf turns to you, the transition almost gone from his smooth face. The tension, I mean, sorry.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You're welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
Continue? He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of a fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
You're stuck out here. Better have more to say for yourself than that. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood,
So that's
part
how
of the
you
mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here? In Gwithan Ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Alof goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
I managed to cross these three drunkards.
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Yeah. You make a rather loose suggestion regarding the aggressive... that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell him, they misheard me. It happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I see. For which I'm grateful. Let's discuss something else, shall we? What are you doing in the Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expected
Sounds
wife.
familiar.
But I take it that's a familiar
Yeah.
tale.
And you? Like you said, I'm also a settler. Strange thing to play. I'm looking for an expert on souls. Yeah, why not?
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
Yeah, we know it's the tree. His darting glance takes a tumble down buildings as fellow rocks stem fields. I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. Yeah, that does sound like a good idea. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I was looking for party members, although we do probably need a tank, and Squishy Elf Mage doesn't really,
Excellent. I shall follow you.
cover that. But yeah, well, fucking Wizard Man, that sounds pretty good.
Yes?
What
How may
magic
I
can we
help?
do? Archimede's Dazzling Lights. One area effects, say. So, Fan of Flames creates a cone of fire. We've got Sunless Grasp and Magic Missile. And you've got Edit Grimoire. So, I see. So you've got so we do pick things for your spellbook. Wizard's Double doesn't sound like it's particularly helpful. All of those seem pretty, about spot on what we kind of want. So it's done that way. The first level wizard spells. Arcane Assault unleashes a bolt of magical enemy from the Grimoire that inflicts raw damage and dazes targets, and that's pretty good. When everybody gets a second wind, so it's not just my class. Then you have a Scepter, crushing and slashing damage, and a Rapier. Okay, and we can just choose to torture if we need to. Well, let's loot these filthy peasants and see if they have anything worth stealing. Silver, not bad. We'll have some of that. Turn down that. Silver Fenning. I think we might still want to go into the inn and rest up anyway to get our
Certainly.
spells back if we do hit the road. And there might be quests and shit in here, so it's worth going and have a look around. I've never actually got to this inn before, or done that bit. So, whatever this elf fellow's name is, he sounds like an interesting companion. People we can talk to. Villager, I assume they are unnamed. The floorboards are sticky with spills that no one has bothered to clean. Okay. So, I'm assuming that's the barmaid. That's where we go if we want to get a room. So we'll go and talk to people about here, because I'm assuming there should be somebody named in here. We can hopefully get some sort of quest off. Villager. All in the server. Oh, so there's a server. I just carry the dishes. You want to talk to Pasca at the counter there. Okay. Maybe she'll have something to do. Villager. Drunkard. Not quite a villager. Villager. Okay, so maybe not. Unless any of these guys over here. Strom Brightblade. Now that's a good tank name. I'll talk to you. Okay, so you're one of these freaky spaced out people. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from his past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. The man stands in the middle of them, explaining the constructions and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he's doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking towards the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most efficiently hold a bow. A noise comes from the tree line near their practice venue, and stops. And he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow and lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosing the arrow as he wastes no time, Quinn quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost among the trees. There is a sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him holding the bow, and leading the deer with a knocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses his last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind the shoulder, piercing heart and lungs and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds, and then slowly turn to look at the man's newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. I do love that writing. It's really cool. Villager is the person he's talking to named? Selenia Vertivo. Oh, okay, you're also one of these. This to contain the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from the past seem to call out to you. Reach out to the soul. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs scattered throughout the room, haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack one item after the other, careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item is clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. The tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can into the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back as she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red, a gangly young elf offers her condolences, but she can't see him from the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen. Anyone heading out to high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear. In the distance, a tiny speck of island and trees not to jump. Very interesting. So, named characters rather than people we can talk to, or quests. Not quests, quests. People we can talk to aren't necessarily quests. People we can talk to, or lore, which is also cool. Carouser. Grab a drink, friend. Not much else worth in this town, says the woman from Thane. Hey, we said we wouldn't mention Thane. Very, yeah, okay. Deslok Nadjatep. That's quite the name, sir. Another one. As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices re-evoke. You see a man soar through the air, hitting nearby wall with a nauseating crunch. He doesn't get up. His attacker, a burly, clean-cut warrior with a cavernous grin, turns and shoves his fist into the stomach of another assailant, removing another from the impromptu brawl. The bar is a whirlwind of elbows, knees, fists and feet, with no end in sight, and he is in his element. In the corner, three smaller men speak quickly, throwing malicious glances at the larger man in the centre. He breaks a chair over a tattooed head, cackling. The trio position themselves, three in parts in the room, and with terse nod they charge. Unfortunately for them, the man sees them coming. Something in his eyes burns brightly, and all three slump to the ground in agony. That's all in their minds. The burly man bows to a room of unconscious incapacitated before sauntering out to an off-key whistle tailing behind him. Nice. Sun shakes him. Jesus, we're not actually going to be able to talk to anybody. As you near, you feel a vibrant another Shane shakes Merlane. You see an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a scroll and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him expressionless, a corpse waiting for animation. The man clucks at him, disapproving, clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying a sharp, angular symbol from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols aglow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally the glow disappears, leaving only hard blank scars etched into the skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, the twitching growing into convulsive shakes. So we might have one more. As you near, you feel a vibrant history. Yep, okay. You see a long empty road cutting through two large crop fields. The air is silent, the land seems still for early afternoon. This woman walks slowly in the road, leading a horse, curiously looking around. She seems to sense something wrong, but is unable to discern what it is. She stops sniffing the air, her nose high, her brow crinkles as she casts about looking for something. The air is clear, no clouds. She sniffs again. She looks around, confused and clouding her face, mouthing a single word. Fire? She looks out across the fields, her confusion turning to fear. She holds her hands up to block the sun from her eyes and scan the fields again. Not finding what she was looking for, she jumps into the horse's back, the fear quickly becoming panic. She kicks, sending the horse shooting down the path, which bends around some trees to where the farmhouse should be. She pulls up short, horror now resident on her face as she stares at the burned and charred mess that used to be her family home. Tears well in her eyes as she kicks again, racing to the rubble. Damn, that's cheery. So I think we'll go and buy a room and trying to get caught up too much in reading all of these. because we're running out of episode this time. So probably by the time we get this room, we'll be out of episode. But yeah, we'll talk to the barkeep, see what happens, get everything all done. Is there actually anybody in the back room we can go talk to? No, there is a shell. Okay, we're stealing, which I don't really think is our character. We are not thieves.
Hail
Greetings,
and well
welcome to the
met.
Black Hound Inn. The innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by way of a good meal today, she sighs, unless you're fond of old cold porridge. I'd like a room, please, I think. I'm looking for work. I could use reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Oh well, I wouldn't say I can speak for experience, but we do have a certain sort coming by looking for work from time to time. If you want to hire someone, I'd be happy to send them your way. Let's see what we have to work with. A level 1 adventurer. What does that even mean? Oh, so we can choose different types of bed. A common room, labourer's rest. So we're gonna have to take the chavvy accommodation, because we can't afford any fancy accommodation. We only have a gold. Actually, we could. Well, in the morning we'll go to the smithy. Next episode we'll go for the smithy, clear out our inventory, see what happens. Your sleep is restless but fevered, assaulted by hisses you whisper, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in the front of a gilded vale or gallows tree. The creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. That might be a sign. Get the fuck out of this town. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inwards like a moulding fruit. Her head hangs limply into one side. You look at her. She looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open. They're empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Thought fills you with new queasy apprehension. You feel a strange compulsion to see the woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. Oh, we've got 464 experience. So, this is probably a good place to wrap up. We're going to check the hanging tree and see if we can find this woman, this dead dwarf woman. And then we will continue on with our adventure and see if we can maybe rustle up a couple of quests in town and then head on to the city, which there's definitely going to be work there. And maybe sell some shit at the blacksmith while we're there as well. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Again, if you have any problems with the way we're doing all the reading for the quest text, let me know. If you have any better suggestions the way we can do it, let me know. If you just want me to skip over it entirely, let me know. I'm going to read it myself anyway, but I might just not read it out loud, and you guys can either pause the video and read it while we're going, or I'll just talk over it and give you guys time to read to make sure everybody's got time to read the quest text and keep up with things. Okay, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye.